All right, so Danny, first one from Danny says, can you copy and paste content but replace the keyword? For example, all of the content is the same but replace the location name. Not sure how important unique content is. Yeah, I mean, technically you can. I see people do that stuff still to this day. I never did, Danny. You technically you can get away with it, but I mean, I'm not kidding. Way back in 2015, I never did that. Um, I would go to, I always use unique content with the way that content apps are available. And I'm talking about 2015, all we had was spinners, right? We didn't have AI. And so we didn't have rephrasers. All we had was spinners. And if you guys have ever done any spinning, now it's better, but especially back in the 2015 and for many years, content spinning was stupid tedious, like stupid tedious because I mean you could spin it where it would add spin tax and synonyms and all that, but you would have to constantly generate an output from the spin tax and read it and find where it was grammatically incorrect and just really bad synonym choices and things like that. And you'd have to go through and manually edit all that spin tax to get it to where all the outputs would be legible and readable, and correct. And it was a real pain in the ass. I hated it, but I did it anyways. Like, in other words, when I would build lead gen assets or client sites that were in the same industry, and I could, it's easy to clone stuff and just swap out location modifiers and maybe brand names, and boom, you got a site built. But what I always wanted unique content because even back then, I always assumed that at some point Google would slap that shit down and boom, you'd lose all your work because you were lazy, right? And or I would lose all my work because I was lazy, right? And so I didn't I always used unique content. Because it's so, and even back then when it was much more difficult to produce and much more tedious, I would still do it. Now, all these years later, almost 10 years later, I still see ranking projects that are, it's the same damn content. And the only thing that's been swapped out is the location modifier. So does it work? Yeah, it does. Would I recommend it? No, I don't, because like for many years, I haven't done that for a reason. And I've been wrong for many years. I probably could have saved myself a ton of time, but at some point, I still feel like it's going to be a problem. And so I just, and by the way, again, with the apps that we have available to us now, there is absolutely no reason to not just produce new content. Like it's so simple, right? You've got all the AI writing apps in the world. I use ZimWriter now for everything, but ZimWriter is fabulous, by the way. But like that's all I do is just use ZimWriter. Just use the same damn prompt and just swap out the location modifier and have it produce a new unique article, right? You use the same prompt over and over again. You just swap out the location modifier in the prompt, and boom, now it's going to be unique content. So, can you do it? Yes. Do I recommend it? No. Hopefully that's clear.